Today's episode of Dungeon Crawlers Radio is brought to you by Gamers Inn, your one-stop location for all your gaming needs. Located in Lehigh City, Utah, their fun and friendly staff will be more than happy to answer any of your gaming needs. Just remember, Gamers Inn, it's where adventures begin.
It's time to power up.
Autobots, roll out! Broadcasting live from the DCR studio.
Oh yeah!
The Geek Revolution starts here.
Excellent!
Get ready for the #1 hit geek radio show out there.
Well, it is impressive, isn't it?
Because it's time for Dungeon Crawlers Radio.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Alright everyone, welcome to another episode of Dungeon Crawlers Radio, where Scott has decided to get E. coli.
I thought he joined McKay.
Ebola?
Where'd
what?
he go?
He did
Where'd
what?
he go?
I thought he joined McKay and got lost in the space-time continuum.
Oh, you didn't hear.
Oh,
McKay
no, McKay is
McKay
no more.
exploded.
He is
So-
a pile of goo we let get mopped up over at
So what
the
happened to me
Watchtower
last
Cafe.
week?
So, nothing actually. We said
Aw.
we said you weren't feeling well and you weren't there. I apparently was sucked into the time stream, and for me to escape, I had to sacrifice McKay. He exploded as I tore through him to escape the
Was
time.
he wearing a red
time.
shirt at the time?
And he may have. And then I emerged from the time stream, and I had goop on my hat, and it was McKay goop.
It was gooey.
Yeah.
Nasty,
Yeah.
gooey.
However, because it is the time stream, I don't know what version of McKay that was. You know, it could be a future McKay. Hopefully, it's not a past McKay.
Hopefully
That was
it's like one of
President
the
McKay.
evil McKays.
Or maybe it's an evil McKay from another universe, and I just saved us.
Our multiverse needs less evil McKays.
Yes.
Just gonna say that.
Yes, that is true.
Poor McKay, I've only met him like once.
McKay has been busy as of late. That is why he's stuck in the time stream. You know.
Sounds
Is
like
he
he's stuck
exploding to let
adulting more
people
than
out?
Yes.
space-time.
So, however, this show, we're going to talk about the Curse of the Red Shirt. For those of you that don't
Hey,
know
Baron,
what that
does
is.
this mean you're not going to make it out of this?
It's not full red shirt. He's
It
good.
is not. I might get wounded, but I will not die.
Yes. So for those of you that are wondering what the heck is this, well, Star Trek has this wonderful theme that those within red shirts tend to die on away missions. So,
Is it wrong? I was seriously worried for Scotty. In which one was it? Oh, I'm gonna have to. Oh, I was seriously worried in Into Darkness. I'm like, no, you can't kill Scotty because he was the only one wearing a red shirt when they went and did their.
yeah. Well, see, this is why he didn't die.
Because he's
Because he's
Scotty,
Simon Pegg.
and he's awesome.
And he's yeah. And yeah. But it is interesting. There are a few individuals that are immune to the red shirt curse. Scotty is one of those. So
Spock is not.
Chekhov is another.
Oh. Who else is? Are those the only two that you can think of that are?
Those are the only two, but again, I think the reason they're immune is because they're rarely on away missions.
No, they're usually
on
behind the
ship.
scenes.
Yeah, they're normally behind the scenes and on the
Scotty's
ship.
manning the.
It's just when they are on a mission, on an away mission, that things happen to these red shirts.
Now, what's the most? How? Yeah. So what's the highest number of red shirts you've ever seen go out at once?
I don't know if I have an answer for that.
I don't think I do either.
I know a lot of them have, and I know this is so much of a joke that author John Scalzi wrote a book called Red Shirt.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of terms, a lot of different places have referenced it.
Yeah.
I was just pulling it up here about Star Trek, and apparently, in one of the episodes, the episode "What Are Little Girls Made Of" from 1966, a crew of 59 members were killed in that series, and 43 were wearing red shirts.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a 73% red shirt kill ratio.
Red shirt even has a Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
Red
Kinda
shirt
what I'm
deaths
looking
are
at right
often
now.
used to dramatize the potential peril that the main characters face.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
So
the term's used in Supergirl. It's used in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Galaxy Quest.
Yep.
Yep, Prometheus,
Because I
Lost.
die.
Spy Game, Buffy the Vampire Slayer even.
Well, in all honesty, when you think about it, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's Star Trek's lasting legacy, but it is one of them. Let's be honest.
So the original series. I'm looking at an article on StarTrek.com where they've broken this down. So the Enterprise had a crew of 430 crewmen aboard the Enterprise. 239 of them were in engineering, security, and operations.
AKA
All
red shirts.
wore red. So there were a total of 55 deaths during their 5-year mission. So 24 of them were red shirts of those 55.
Just a little
So
under 50%.
Almost 50%. Compared to the 9 that were in the yellow or gold command shirts, 7 in blue, and with 15 crossing into the final frontier in unidentified colors.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Would that be black and white then?
Well, the Final Frontier movies when they were wearing the weird red
Gotcha.
outfits, yeah.
When Spock died.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, we have those. So very interesting.
It is.
I mean, compared to the total number, 430 crewmen, that's not a lot. But out of the numbers dead, that is a staggering high amount.
So how many episodes are in the original Star Trek? It's only like 60-something, isn't it?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't watched it.
Time to use the Google.
Yes. However, so during the 3-year run of Star Trek, only 10% of the entire red shirt population was killed. This is
79.
yeah, so 79 episodes?
79
All
episodes,
right,
so
over
almost
79 episodes, 10% was killed. That is less than the 13.4 of the gold shirts, but of course they're less. I mean, that's a smaller amount.
Mm-hmm.
And 5.1% of the blue shirts.
so much math.
So it's not truly more hazardous to wear a red shirt. But again, that's based on percentages, based on...
Still not going to catch me wearing one.
Yeah.
At least not that red. I'll wear a little red. I like to live a little dangerously.
Well, technically, I have a red lightsaber on, so I guess I still
So,
Dutch.
however, based on the casualty charts, it was a 64.5% chance of a red shirt death in the security department.
So, in other words, they just spent all this time saying, oh, it's not so hazardous to wear a red shirt. However, don't wear a red shirt if you're in security.
Yeah. Well, security goes down, they try to protect, and they end up dying first.
You think about it, you're kind of in the line of fire if you're in security. Yeah. That's like joining the army and expecting not to hear gunshots.
Well, it's like being in the infantry in Starship Troopers.
Exactly.
You're guaranteed to die. Yep. If you live longer than a few months, you're going to be promoted.
Haven't seen Starship Troopers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Awesome.
That's
a good one. Yeah. There is some language. There is some nudity. There's a lot of bug deaths. And there's a lot of gruesome deaths.
You're going to like everything about this.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm game.
Yeah.
Hey,
Doogie Howser's in it.
It's true.
Seriously?
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neil Patrick Harris is in there.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
As
is Clancy Brown.
Now I got to pull this up and see who's in here.
Clancy Brown has a sexy voice.
So I don't know if you saw the new Thor trailer.
Not the one that just came out.
Okay, so there is a scene at the very end where there's this giant fire beast.
Okay.
Clancy Brown is voicing it.
Very nice.
Very,
is it
very,
Surtur?
very befitting, huh?
Is it Surtur?
Yes.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna have to watch that now.
But
I think it's funny that even though they're trying to get away from the red shirt curse, even the reboot of Star Trek had an engineering red shirt die on the only.
Yeah.
Well, they had him die on the first away mission because when they went down to destroy the drill.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot. Even the Curse of the Red Shirt even played in Next Generation, which was very interesting because command had gone from gold to the red.
Right.
You know, we had Picard in that, but we saw Riker almost die, you know, in the red shirt.
We saw
It was kind of interesting that security went to the gold color, but, you know.
Data was security?
No, but Tasha Yar was, and Worf
Oh,
was,
okay.
and Tasha did die. She got sucked into that.
I
tar
remember
monster.
that. But you gotta admit, yesterday's Enterprise was a really good episode when they brought her back.
Yes. It was a very interesting and weird way to do it, but it's still good. Next Generation was definitely trying to push the boundaries, which was awesome. You know,
Growing up
That's
as a
the
kid,
Star
liked
Trek I
Next
remember.
Generation, Yeah, I used
Now the
to
question is-
sneak
And Deep
in
Space
behind
Nine.
My parents'
I hated
recliners
that
and
one.
watch
And
Next
Voyager.
Generation.
so the question is,
Enterprise is good.
does the red shirt curse continue on through Deep Space Nine and through Voyager and Enterprise?
Not from what I
your mind.
remember.
Well, Enterprise are kind of wearing blue outfits, so I guess they're out in that one. But
In Voyager, I don't remember them having very colorful uniforms
No, they were-
sorry, Deep Space Nine. I was thinking.
Deep Space Nine, they had the Next Generation.
Did they have?
uniforms.
Did
Yeah.
they?
Yeah. But they didn't go very many places.
Yeah, for some
there wasn't
reason
a lot
I
of
can't-
away
I can't
missions.
Remember the colors and stuff. I just remember like grayish blacks or whatever. But
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
Deep Space okay? My Star Trek memory is
'Kay.
blurring. Which one was on the space station?
That was Deep Space Nine.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that's what I remember.
And they didn't go hardly anywhere until they
No,
got
they
the
didn't.
Reliant, and then they went everywhere. And then, unfortunately, the Reliant looks way too much like the Shadowcaster from Rebels and Clone Wars.
Really?
Yeah, it's just the same guy that designed the
It's
Reliant.
been a while
designed it.
since I've seen, because I remember catching an episode here and there growing up. Because again, I'm a late '90s, early '00 kid, so whatever was on flipping channels, because we didn't have DVRs back then. You just had to find
Oh,
something
yeah.
to watch, and you didn't have the guide that tells you what was on other
oh, no.
channels.
oh no, you had the guide, but it came in the mail.
It did. It came in the mail. It came
Maybe
in
it
the
wasn't
mail,
the-
and it
it
gave
was
you
in the
paper
Sunrise
cuts.
paper.
I
and
apologize.
just-
It's not the Reliant, the Defiant. Excuse me. The Reliant was the ship that was in Wrath of Khan.
Oh, back on topic.
Yeah. But yes, so I'm just going to pull up these pictures and I'll show you guys later. But so the Curse of the Red Shirt, I like how it's kind of become ingrained in geek culture.
Well, have you
It's been in a lot of stuff.
Have you seen that episode of Mythbusters?
Oh yeah.
Where they're testing the Gorn cannon, I believe. And Tori's like, you know why he's wearing a red shirt, right? And they're like, no. And he's like, it's because he's not coming off this planet.
Yeah, I love that one.
That was a great call to, geek culture, because I remember seeing that episode and I'm like, I don't know what that means. And I think I either looked it up later or I had somebody else explain it to me. I'm like, oh, that makes sense now that I get what the reasoning behind that is.
Yeah. No, and see, and that's what's really cool. Even though it's kind of dumb stuff like that, it has left a lasting mark. We have Trekkies, we have everything like that, but it's kind of like Star Trek's Sith or Darth Vader. It's something that you say, oh hey, that he's wearing a red shirt. He's not gonna make it, and no one has to say, what do you mean? It's like, oh yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's,
Never
you're right,
wear a
it's
red
obvious.
shirt around geeks.
It's like, it's like someone just going and say, "May the force be with you." It's like, oh, all right, cool. It's like live long and prosper.
prosper.
Yeah. So there are some really cool things that has done. However, I'm not a Trekkie. I've never really loved Star Trek.
The fact that you said Trekkie instead of Trekker kind of gave that away.
Well, see, that's the thing. Some people prefer Trekker. Some people prefer Trekkie. It's the weirdest thing.
I think it depends on which side of the trek you're on.
It is. It does.
See, and I still think Galaxy Quest is the best Star Trek movie.
I love Galaxy Quest. However, I think Orville is going to take its place. So it is Seth MacFarlane's spoof on Star Trek.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Is this a
boy.
movie or a TV?
TV series.
Oh,
coming on Fox.
dear.
Have you not seen the trailer?
Oh no, it's on
Daniel,
Fox.
you just said Fox.
So
You're
we're gonna
right.
Get one
Okay.
good season.
True.
Or
but,
half a season.
No, but they love Seth Seth's stuff.
You got a point. They've been airing him forever.
They did
Oh, yeah,
drop
he's
Family
Family
Guy.
Guy.
They did drop Family Guy, but then they brought it right back. So they may be just like, this is the golden goose. We're gonna ride it for all it's worth, or we may just get one. But hey, Gotham has survived, even though I'm not a
We
fan
don't
of that.
speak of Gotham.
Didn't we also get the Cleveland show from him too?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what was it, American Dad?
American Dad's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I think he's kind of their golden boy, so they're gonna ride this for as much as they can. But it looks funny.
But I
It
love
looks
Galaxy
entertaining.
Quest.
This is like Galaxy Quest, like on.
They were gonna
speed.
do a Galaxy Quest TV series at one point.
Yeah, they were. Unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. I would love to see a sequel, but
No,
we
we
don't got
can't
Alan
talk about
Rickman anymore.
we can't talk about that. I still haven't recovered. This Potterhead wants to cry.
But I would love to
Is
see
there
it.
something I'm missing?
Alan
Alan
Rickman
Rickman.
passed away.
Oh yes. Oh,
He's
you're
Snape,
right.
and
You're
he's
right.
the
I forgot
Finhead
Snape
alien.
is the guy
By
in-
Grathbar's hammer, you
You're
shall be
right.
avenged.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they could still do it without him, though.
I forgot that he was
They
in that. I
could.
just kept thinking Tim Allen,
Yeah,
and he's looking a lot older.
he is, but they could still pull it off.
Oh, they could.
I mean,
they could.
and-
He's not
but-
that much older.
Yeah, but the other thing that is just on Alan Rickman really quickly, he's still one of my favorite villains of all time. Hans Gruber from
Oh.
Die Hard. Oh.
Haven't seen it.
You see, he does just
What?
a great job as a villain. Even
You know this!
Even as
You
Snape,
need to
who
see this.
isn't a villain.
Yeah.
Daniel, do I need to tell you I wasn't born when the movies originally
That's
came
okay.
out?
You need to see it.
I've seen
Amazing
Look for Your
movies.
Die Hard.
Then you need to see the first one.
You got to see. I think you should see the first.
I
three.
see it. I watch it every year around Christmas.
It's a great
It's a
Christmas,
Christmas movie.
It is.
Because
It is a wonderful
what?
Christmas movie.
It's going on. So
Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve. That it happens.
Is
The
that
events in
why
the
Live
first one.
for Your Die Hard takes place on the 4th of July?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh, that explains so much now.
See, and then doesn't the second Die Hard take place at
Christmas?
Christmas time
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Same thing. Airport travel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I going to want to fly on an airplane after that one?
Yeah. The well.
He never
Yeah.
leaves the airport.
Oh, no, I just want to get out, though, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He never really.
But you
leaves
don't
it.
need to see the second one because
Well, he leaves it enough to go to the church behind the airport, but then he
Yeah.
heads right back.
yes, the first one, Alan Rickman is the quintessential villain, beautifully done. It's like one of those classic Bond villains.
Ooh.
Now, one of the great things about him as a villain
has
in
a good
number one,
voice.
he
Had
was
a
so
good
good
voice.
as a villain in number one that the villain in number 3
Is his brother?
is getting revenge for him.
What's his
Oh,
brother?
interesting.
It's his brother,
And
yes.
it's Jeremy Irons.
I love Jeremy Irons.
And so
And then Samuel L. Jackson's in that
yeah. So again,
as a cab driver. It works.
you got
It's
you,
awesome.
you can't just see number 1.
So
you also got to
skip
see
two.
number 2.
Two.
No.
You need to see
Two's,
two.
Two's
okay.
good. It's not the best, but it is still good. And then number 3, awesome. Yeah, I'm, one of my favorite parts is right when he first meets him. Is when he gets out of the van and he's got that sign around him. And he's just in his briefs. And he starts walking down the street. It's classic.
Yeah.
It's classic.
But I'm bringing that up because I feel like every bad guy, like the thugs for the main bad guy, are like red shirts. They seriously should have been running around with red shirts.
You got a point, and I
because
feel like
they're always dying.
well, didn't
Die Hard or
Now,
something?
didn't
Yeah.
Hans Gruber wear a red shirt
No.
under his coat?
No, he was wearing
He was wearing a suit.
Suit.
But I thought he had a
Armani
red-
suit, white shirt,
White shirt.
tie. Yeah. But
I'm
but I'm
trying
just
to
talking
picture
about
him, and all I can see
yeah.
is him going like this.
Yeah,
down the
I'm
building.
just saying, but all of the other bad guys, they should have been wearing red shirts because no matter what they did,
Oh, yeah.
John McClane was taking him out barefoot, bleeding,
Yeah.
jumping off a skyscraper with nothing but a fire hose to save his life because it's exploding like a Michael
Oh,
Bay
yeah.
film, and they still lose.
Yeah, I mean the guy's unstoppable.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, and
Then he
who's
talks
this-
about Twinkies. Gotta
Yeah.
love that.
Yep.
I do love the fact he killed a helicopter with a car.
That was
Because
awesome.
he was out of bullets.
I
I
need
do
to watch
remember.
that movie again.
That's a good one.
That is a good movie.
See, and what I really love about going back to Galaxy Quest is there's a lot of callbacks to the fact that the throwaway character Sam Rockwell.
Oh, I love that about it.
Fantastic. Guy Fleekman is the best thing ever.
I'm gonna die. I know.
I'm just an extra. I'm just
an extra.
I'm just guy such and such. Whatever number. I'm gonna die.
I'm just
and then
whatever.
I love when Tony Shalhoub goes, maybe you're just the plucky comic relief.
Yeah.
And he's like, huh?
I love when they're on the away
Oh,
mission.
wait a minute. I got a good idea. Yeah. No.
Oh, Tony Shalhoub. But I love when they're on the away mission, and I don't remember. Tommy's like, everybody's like, why does this sound familiar? And Tommy's like, episode, whatever. And he's like, we're doing episode? And he's like, yeah. Why are you concerned about that? Because I died in episode whatever.
I think they did a fantastic job with Galaxy Quest.
Well,
I mean,
no, Patrick Stewart didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart had no interest in seeing it. He's like, they're going to ruin it. They're going to destroy it. It's actually Jonathan Frakes who said, you have to go see it.
Yeah.
It is. He's like, it's respectful.
They weren't. It literally, they weren't completely just making fun of it. They did something on their own, but they said enough jokes that reference Star Trek to get the Star Trek fans to laugh and to have fun. Like the whole scene with they're going Garak, and you're like, what the heck is this? And
I don't think that the Garak is the pig monster.
and then
now the pig monster's inside out.
Well, yeah, that's the favorite thing. And they're like, they beam up the pig monster, and he's like, well, how'd it go? It's inside out. It's like, what? It's inside out, and then it explodes, and it exploded.
And he's just covered in it. Doesn't even care.
Or my personal favorite, Sigourney Weaver's like totally just rubbing or flicking the flesh off of her, and she's like, hold please.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many great parts.
And the end scene when they're going through the chompers,
I know.
and they're like, what is the point of this?
Yeah.
There's just so many... There's enough moments where it's funny, but it's also respectful. And, I mean, and you know what they're calling back to.
Yeah.
And especially when it's like... And what I love most about Galaxy Quest is who saves the day? The fans.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think one of the other great aspects that it puts into it is they take a story that everybody really wants to believe, don't they?
Yeah.
Trekkies, Trekkers, they all want to believe that that's real. And then they put it into a twist, and they twist it into a way that, hey, look, in this way, it really is real. It really did happen. It really can be something that you can believe in.
Yeah.
And I don't know, usually when you get that little bit of an aspect from another movie, it kind of makes your appreciation for it just kind of grow a little bit.
Yeah, they exactly took that. We start out in a convention, a comic book convention.
Oh, yeah.
And you have...
And that was back before it was chic.
Yeah, and you have the Star Trek cast. And you have the William Shatner that just thinks he's bigger than everyone else, and then
the trained Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, and then he finds out he's not that big, and then he starts yelling, and then it's real.
The Thermians.
It's really real. You know, and then you have the kids that got yelled at, and he's like, "No, it's real," and he's like, "I know it." And then they get together and they have all the plans because they obsess about it, and so they can walk them through everything. And they, like I said, they save the day. They do.
And the greatest part is the characters live up to who they're supposed to be in the show and everything too, rather than wimping out.
Yeah, and then in the end, we end up back at the convention, just where we started. It's like the perfect wrap up of any story.
And I love that they had the credits at the end, and there was Guy. Guy finally got a name.
Yeah, and then you're right. Then they started it up again. And they brought Galaxy Quest back, kind of that nod to Next Generation, kind of starting up. But it's the same cast, and Guy's now the security guy, and and then the weird alien chick that's
Jane Doe.
She's in there as Jane Doe. Really, they couldn't have given her a better name than Jane Doe.
Let's make it obvious she's an illegal.
Sigourney
Weaver, very interesting character.
That character was fun because I love when she's repeating everything, and I think it's Tommy again. Tommy goes, "Can you please not repeat?" He's like, "That is so annoying. Can you please stop that?" She's like, "I have one job on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it." And let's be honest, she's Ripley. Yeah. She's known for being a badass.
And that is the thing that's so interesting because we know she can act.
We do.
And she is amazing at it. And then she's playing this ditzy, blonde type character that you see pretty much in her bra for a good portion of the last portion in the movie. And she doesn't
in her defense,
really do anything. But she
TV
does
Guide's
a
article was about her boobs.
But it's
she does a fantastic job at what little she does.
And and it's a good tongue in cheek, making fun of how women were treated back in the '60s during those times.
For sure.
It's
and then Tim Allen is the captain. I'm like, I wasn't really sure, but he does a great job.
If there's anybody who can play like he's got a big head, it's Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Well, and the interesting thing is he was coming off of Home Improvement, ended that same year.
And the Santa Claus.
And the Santa Claus. But it was interesting because his TV series had just ended, so he was kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
And it's interesting thinking about him playing a role as somebody who's big-headed and thinks a lot about himself. And Buzz Lightyear was the same way.
Yep.
He was that same character for Buzz Lightyear. He was very conceited. I'm so great and amazing. Fly around the room.
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Yeah. So we've got Star Trek
though.
Discovery coming up. The new Star Trek.
I'm excited that Michelle Yeoh's
series.
the captain, though.
We have another female captain, which it was a little rough. Not a lot of people were excited with Janeway. Ended up liking her. How do you feel about this series? Are we going to see the curse of the red shirt? I will personally say I'm a little worried because the first images we've seen of this series, it looks like Rey is there. It's the same identical outfit as Rey from Star Wars Force Awakens. Have you not seen the picture? All right, I'll look it up for you. But the uniforms are definitely different. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to. I'm not 100% sure.
Do we know
where
when this
the timeline
is taking place?
I don't. That's the one thing I need to look up.
See, and I think
when does it come out?
I think September. Yeah. I think they'll hearken to it, but I don't think it'll be as in your face, as prevalent as maybe we're thinking it could be because it is a Star Trek TV series. But it'll be interesting to see if it's a little bit more subtle. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, Star Trek Discovery is set roughly a decade before the events of the original Star Trek series.
Like, are we talking...
Original series with William Shatner.
Okay, so we're not talking like the Chris Pine, they screwed up the timeline sort of thing.
No, so that's another interesting thing because the next Star Trek movie is rumored that they're going to go back in time and fix that because they're going to save Kirk's dad.
Really? Do I get to see Chris Hemsworth again?
I would assume that's who they're going to cast again because it was Chris Hemsworth playing his dad in that first movie.
But that's interesting. How are they going to do that without Chekhov?
That is a really good question. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Because, I mean, Chekhov would be alive in the present day, but I guess in the past he wouldn't be alive because he was a lot younger. Are you kidding me? She looks exactly like Rey.
Yeah, that's a Star Wars ripoff right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Star Trek on Tatooine, apparently.
Yeah. That is Michelle Yeoh.
Star Trek, stop trying to be the DC of the sci-fi community.
Okay, so here's the breakdown. Real quickly, what we know, Star Trek Discovery takes place in the Prime timeline. So the original timeline with William Shatner. The show is set 10 years before Kirk, Spock, and the Enterprise. And NC-1701's first 5-year mission took place in 2250. The current stardate for the show is roughly 2255. That's
interesting.
Doesn't make sense.
No, that math is not lining up.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to fix that.
So
and stop ripping off Star Wars.
And then if it's only 10 years before, their uniforms are vastly different than the TV series.
See, now I got another picture here.
Yeah, see, that is their
see, those look to me more like Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah. And these, if that's 10, and then these are 10 years later. So we'll need to
Did Starfleet get their budget cut?
Well, they don't make money, so I don't know. They don't have money.
Well, it looks like their uniform, whatever, allowance has been slashed.
Their budget went from...
They probably spent most of it on that guy's face.
Yeah, but no, he's an alien. Anyways,
so... His face.
I don't know. There is a lot of confusing things, because if the current timeline is 2255, and, well, Kirk's 10-year mission is 2250, yeah. So we'll have to see. I hope
have people been paying attention to writing this?
Probably not.
I didn't think so. Doesn't sound
Anyways,
like it.
we'll see if the curse of the red shirt's not going to matter because they're all wearing blue.
Apparently so. And unless they go down on the desert planets when they visit Tatooine.
Maybe they're in red
well,
underneath.
I guess if you're in Tatooine, when in Rome, right? Wear the garb.
Yeah. It just looks way too much like red.
Yeah.
But anyways, with that said, give us your thoughts on the red shirts. I'm sad that it is disappearing. I am happy that the current Star Trek movies with Chris Pine and that do have the red shirts. They have the yellow, the blue. I think it's a great nod to the original series.
Well, and they also have the reference to the red shirts dying.
Yeah. And I hope it continues. But I'm kind of disappointed in them making this series and not having those colors, especially if it's 10 years before. You'd think they would transition. But maybe there is some sort of transition between this one and the original series that happens because Star Trek Enterprise, they had uniforms similar to that. So maybe there is a transition where Starfleet starts color coding things. I don't know.
I guess it depends on how long CBS lets this last.
That is true.
That'd be a great episode. Captain's log. We received a notice today that we
Captain's
must
log.
all color coordinate our departments. Security will be red.
Since security has the most death rates or wounds, we're going to give them red uniforms, so it
Blood
hides the
doesn't
wounds.
show.
Doesn't show the blood.
Even though we have laser, guns
Laser
that
cauterizing
cauterizes
guns.
our wounds. So, with that said, folks, give us your opinion, and we're out of here.
Live long and prosper.
Are you a fan of Dungeon Crawlers? Then it's time for you to level up your experience. Download our episodes that are released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And not only that, we want to hear from you. We want to know who you want to hear on the show. What author, what celebrity, what game designers you want to hear. Not only that, we also want to hear what you like about the show. So, with that said, please reach out to info@dungeoncrawlersradio.com. Email us on Twitter or Facebook. And let us know what you want to hear on this show, because we want it to be as much of your show as it is ours. So with that said, we're out of here, and we'll catch you next time.